Welcome back, everyone, to the hot seat on the Domestique platform. We've taken a bit of a break over the Tour de France to let that breathe. However, we are back and we have a very special guest today. It is Michael Storer, hot off racing the Tour de France, where he really put breakaway champion to the test, and also the Giro d'Italia, a man that definitely has molten lead in his legs at the moment. From down under, Michael Storer, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Mate, I'm doing really, really well. So we're going to get stuck into some quick fire questions here. The goal behind this is that you answer as many questions as you can in 1 minute. And these are all unseen. I've sent you the questions for this, but you can vouch for the fact that you have not seen any of these, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Good. Okay. So Amanda Spratt is the current leader. She's the only person to have done this, so that helps. But she is the current leader of this on 10 questions. So let's get started. Your time begins now. Question 1: Shimano or SRAM?
Shimano. I shouldn't have said that.
Question, how many bikes do you own?
How many bikes? Technically
Yep.
zero.
Technically zero. Okay. Question 3: do you name your bikes? Question 4: favorite race?
Giro.
Giro. Okay. Question 5: socks over or under leg warmers?
Under.
Question 6: solo or bunch rides?
Solo.
Okay. Question 7: saddlebags, yes or no?
Yes.
Ultimate goal on the bike?
Win a stage at the Giro Tour.
Okay. Favorite cycling destination?
Italy.
Okay, and that is time. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions. So Amanda pipped you by 1 question. But congratulations, you are now, depending on how you want to look at this, whether you're a glass half full or a glass half empty, mate, you are either second place in the quickfire questions or you are last place in the quickfire questions.
I'll take that second.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Well, with that, let's get into the meat and potatoes. You're from Western Australia. Now, I'm a bit of a history nerd, so I've brought a little fact into this. For those who do not know, Western Australia is actually so isolated from the rest of Australia that it has its own time zone, and it also did not initially want to be part of Australia because they were worried they would get left out of decisions because they're so far away. You came up through the juniors from Western Australia. What's that pathway look like? How do you stay in touch with the rest of cycling?
In Perth, there's like quite a good junior scene, at least when I was coming through. I haven't had much contact with the scene since turning professional, but there was like a good group going on with, especially driven by Gordon Hindley, Jai's dad. And I think that really like cultivated like the cycling culture there.
Yeah, well, you jumped over. I'll jump onto a question a bit later. So your first, well, I guess you signed with Mitchelton Scott. That's in 2017, but then you jump over to the Sunweb team in 2018, and you join Bling and Hindley there. Was there some sort of link with Western Australian cycling there, with Jai and yourself going over there, or?
It was just a bit random, I guess, that we just ended up in the same team. Like there was the Luke Roberts from Adelaide. He was like one of the sports directors there, and I think he helped like bring Jai and myself to the attention of the team, and that helped us make it over because he looks more at Australian cycling. So then he goes, oh, maybe you should look at these two guys, like they're pretty good. And then that also helps like make the team think about signing us.
Do you think that Michael Matthews, so you signed in 2018, Matthews won the green jersey, I believe, in 2017. Did that have anything to do with them thinking, hang on a second, maybe these Aussie guys are all right?
I They'd probably look at it a bit case by case.
Yeah, of course.
I think. But a little bit.
Did it have anything? So you're on Mitchells and Scott. That's the Green Edge team, right? At that time, essentially. Did you were only there for 1 year before you jumped over to Sunweb. Did the fact that there were another two Australians on the team influence your decision?
Not so much. I didn't have like a lot of teams to choose from. Like when I moved on from Mitchelton Scott. But really it was 2 years with Mitchelton Scott. Just before it was like called like the national team, but it was essentially the same thing.
Yeah, right.
But beggars can't be choosers. If you don't have a lot of choice like for a team, then you just go where they want you.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I think you may be, underselling yourself a little because I've got you podiuming, I believe you bronze medaled the Junior World's Time Trial when you were 18.
Yeah.
And the Western Australian Institute of Sport still has an article up from the 24th of September 2014 that has you in there. And I compared your profile because there's a picture of you and your profile in that picture compared to you on a TT bike now, you looked a bit buff back then, mate. Did you ever have the intention of being anything other than a climber, or were you always a bit of a mountain goat?
I was always a bit of a mountain goat, but I did focus a bit more on the TTs because that's like a clear way. It's like an easier way to get selected at the time for like the national team and whatnot, because like road races, tactics and things. But if you can smash out a good TT, then they can't really ignore that. So I had like a bit more TT focus.
Was there ever a point then, I mean, because you do seem like you feel like you were pretty privileged to get over on the Sunweb. Was there any point that you thought this might not be something that you'd be able to succeed in? Did you ever was there a world where Michael Storer might be a dentist or something along those lines, or were you always going to be a pro cyclist?
I think it was until I signed professional where I was carrying Plan B along. Like I did start a degree at UWA in chemistry.
Okay.
And then I was doing that part-time. And then like as I moved up like in the cycling scene, then I just like reduced more and more. And then at a certain point when I extended with Sunweb, then I fully dropped Plan B because like second contract. And I was like, okay, like I'm really in it now. Like this is what I'm doing.
So when was that? What was your initial contract with Sunweb?
It was like 2 years minimum salary.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then so that would be 2020 you made it to the big leagues.
2018, 2019. I was in Sunweb.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, then
and was that the extent?
And at the end of 2018, I had another 2 years on top.
Yeah, nice. Was there a win where or a moment where you realised I'm in this? Like a win, or was it a signing with a certain team? Like after that you signed with FDJ. Was there a moment where you thought, yeah, I'm a pro cyclist now?
Probably, I wouldn't say one exact moment, but for sure when I signed the second contract, then you really consider yourself a pro cyclist because then you're really like getting some years in the pro peloton as well. But then even in 2018, I got like a few little results, like 5th in Tour of Yorkshire. And there I go, like, okay, like I'm at like a pretty good level here to be competitive as well.
Yeah. What's the level jump? So in New South Wales, and you probably haven't been back to Perth during our winter, so you probably don't even know that this exists, but the state of origin in New South Wales between Queensland and New South Wales, it's a big rugby league grudge match, and they often talk about the difference from going to club up into the state of origin where you're essentially playing against the biggest and best. What do you Was there a moment where you realised, holy crap, there's a big jump here, like a certain race where you thought, oh, this is maybe really stretching my abilities here?
A lot of races. It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got my head kicked in a lot, like in racing in the first years, and even now, arguably, I still get my head kicked in racing. Like unless you cross the line first, like everyone's getting dropped at some point. So yeah, it's always hard. There's not really any easy races.
Yeah, totally. And that progression up seemed to be relatively gradual for you. So you jump over to FDJ from there, but then I sort of wanted to unpack you moving to Tudor. Was there a reason other than the fact that you get to ride a BMC instead of those Lapierres that you decided that you would make this jump from FDJ to Tudor Cycling? Because I guess some people would be looking at that and thinking that's actually a step down because you're going from a World Tour team to a Conti team.
Yeah, you have to look into it to realize that it's actually a step up because, yeah, Groupama doesn't have the best support structure. Yeah, they're a bit sort of stuck in their ways. That's not going to change. Even if I say it in a podcast, they're not going to listen. Yeah, I wanted to go to a team that actually cared about making me good, actually give me some real support. Because they'll say that they're gonna help you and whatnot, but then they kind of just expect you to be good, but not actually do anything to help you be a good cyclist. But in general, yeah, I'm pretty much their main guy, and so they're throwing a lot of resources behind me to help me be good, help me reach my potential. Whilst, say, if I went to one of those, like Groupama, they supported 2 guys with their resources, I'd say, maybe 3. But that can be the problem with the big teams. You go there and you're probably not going to be their number one guy who they throw their resources behind. You're going to maybe at best you're number 3, number 4. You're like an afterthought.
Yeah, well, I guess a couple of the Aussies that have made jumps over to those bigger teams. We talk about Hindley and Vine. They're at big teams, but they're certainly on a team like Tudor, like what you've gone to. I would say that those guys would be the GC hopeful, and that's not the case for them at the moment. And everyone makes different career paths, but I think just having a look at the team and the way that you guys rode the Tour de France this year, it looked like Alaphilippe was riding for you. How does that feel, having a guy like Julian Alaphilippe riding as your, I guess, chief domestique, your lieutenant? That must be, we're talking about moments where you realise, I've made it. That must be a moment where you think, oh.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty cool when Julian's riding for you because everyone knows who he is, what he's done, and I still consider him one of the best bike racers in the world. He's just lacking a little bit of fitness, and hopefully next year or towards the end of this year he finds that little bit that is missing, and then it'll be reversing the roles. You'll see me riding for him. But he's really, really humble guy. You see some people with big egos, they wouldn't do that, even if they can. But he is all in for the team. He knows that maybe that day it's not for him, and then he's gonna race for his teammate. He's racing for his own victory.
Yeah, well, I think we saw that in the Tour de France. I think you could almost draw a direct parallel. It's not a perfect one because I believe you're 27 and Lipovitz is riding for the best young riders jersey. So there's obviously a bit of an age gap, but there certainly is almost the same feeling of a bit of a changing of the guard where Alaphilippe certainly stepped into the role of domestique for you, but we had that friction in Red Bull in regards to, or at least perceived friction from the outside between Roglic and Lipovic in regards to who is their GC. How does that conversation go on the team bus when Alaphilippe clearly realised there was a lot of talk about him going for stage wins this tour, and that quickly seemed to be him supporting you going for stage wins. What's that look like on the bus?
It looks like he just told me straight up, like, on these certain days, I help you. Like, didn't need to be a whole lot of conversation about it. He offered his support straight away. Like, none of the sports directors necessarily told him to. He wanted to. He's just that kind of guy.
What a legend. What's the role of Cancellara? Because he's, I believe, the owner of the team. Am I correct in saying that? Does he?
Yeah.
What's his role? Does he have? Do you get mentoring from him? Does he come, or is he more of a hands-off team manager? What's it like with Cancellara at the helm?
He is pretty hands-off. Like, he doesn't have a huge influence on the like day-to-day functioning of the team. Maybe on some big decisions he'll have some input, but yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he's got other people to do the work essentially. Like, he focuses more on being there for the sponsors as the name, like Cancellara. Because if you put the CEO of our team's name, no one knows who he is. Yeah, so it's kind of like using his brand name, like, linked to the team to bring more attention.
So almost like on top of his role, an ambassadorial role as well.
I would say Tudor. His real role is more ambassadorial than anything.
Yeah, right.
I'd say.
So let's go to your sponsor, because you are sponsored by Tudor. How does it feel to know that while you're at Tudor, you'll never be able to cut your wrist on a Richard Mille while you're riding Paris-Roubaix?
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah. I don't get it. I understand that they pay a lot of money to be warm, but it's a bizarre thing to see cyclists that are so focused on aerodynamics wearing watches that clearly, like, they would have an aerodynamic drag. Like, even the sensors that they wear and the way that they develop the skin suit, it seems like a bizarre choice to me. Has there ever been a conversation around whether you guys just roll up with Tudors on your wrist?
Yeah, we've had
a race.
Had this conversation a few times because I was like, even at the Champs-Élysées stage, they asked if we could wear the Tudors on our wrists, but yeah, we were saying, like, look, the cobbles are super rough. Like, maybe we bruise our wrist or the watch gets damaged. Like, it's really not worth it to wear the Tudor, like, on the Champs-Élysées stage on the cobbles. So that was the most recent time we had this discussion. Also, other times we've, like, had the discussion, oh, maybe someone wears it in the race, but yeah, I think on the podium presentation's enough.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's good that I guess the team is responsive to that, because, I mean, to me it seems like a no-brainer when you're literally hiding heart rate sensors and things under skin suits. Especially with the Tudors. But have you become a watch guy since starting at Tudor?
Definitely. But I didn't care about watches at all before joining this team. And now I've ordered, 2 or 3 watches.
Yeah.
We also get a bit of a discount, so it's worth it. But
yeah. No, those things are plush. I had a brief dabble with being a watch guy, and then I realised how much they cost, and teacher's salary doesn't pay for Tudor watches. So yeah, good luck to you.
They maintain value.
Yeah, I've heard that they're quite an investment. I had a friend who bought a competitor's brand. I won't mention the brand, but he'd bought a competitor's brand, and he was trying to convince me that it was a good investment. And yeah, I mean, each to their own. Yeah. But so let's go on to the tour then. I sent you a message during the tour, and I said I keep plugging away because I think a stage win's coming. unfortunately, I put the moxie on you, and Tudor left with no stage wins. However, you guys clocked a third place. You clocked a third place. Julian Alaphilippe also clocked a third place on the same stage that you were awarded the most combative. How does the team conversation after this Tour de France go? Were you guys seeing this as a success for your first tour as a team?
Yeah, definitely a success. Like, and we're joking that, okay, we didn't win a stage, but we won the hearts of the fans. We won at social media. So in the end, for the sponsors, that's what really counts. Like, especially Julian was really, yeah, I don't know. He makes his own stories, like with the stealing the billboard from that girl on top of the mountain, put down his shirt,
Yeah.
and then saluting for third. Like, yeah, like it's crazy. After that day where he came third, on the front page of L'Equipe, the biggest sports newspaper in France, there was like just a massive front page picture of Julian. Like, I don't think they actually know who won the stage that day.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right.
because I think for the French, Julian won that day.
Yeah, well, it is funny. I mean, how does that change the way a team like yours goes about racing when you're not going into the Tour de France with the intention of, I guess, like you're not going there to win the Tour de France? A few teams would have to fall over for you guys to be in the position where that was something that was likely. So you're going there for stage wins at best. What's the conversation around how to get attention? Is there sort of almost pressure? I saw you were doing quite a lot of interviews on SBS, our local broadcaster. Is there pressure to do a lot of that social media now so that the sponsors get that bang for buck?
They don't actually put so much pressure on me. Like, some interviews they say, oh, we'd really like you to do this. Like, say if it's Eurosport or something, SBS, I do a bit extra just because it's the Australian broadcaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, for like smaller sort of media, they don't necessarily say, oh, they're like, maybe you can skip this one if you don't want to do it. There's not huge pressure. But as riders,
Yeah.
we know that it's good for the team. So then if we have the time and the will, then we just do it.
Yeah. Nice. So on the topic of the Tour de France, you and Simmons seem to be fighting each other for most combative on the stage. Was there any friction between you two, or is it all respect along there?
I'd say it's all respect. Like, I also talked to him quite a bit during the tour. We just always ended up like, yeah, together in the breakaways, even one day like together in group heado. Then yeah, had some good chats with him.
What's he like? Because I accidentally kicked the hornet's nest with Quinn Simmons. I put up a bit of a meme that drew some attention, and I'm happy to put up my hands and say that as a rider, Simmons definitely won my affection across the Tour de France. I think I was talking about this with Cyrus during our Tour de France podcast. I think he was the one that animated, I mean, yourself as well, but very much Simmons on the front animating that first week. And I think he made it a lot more interesting than it potentially could have been. What's he like as a bloke?
I found that meme hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. He has a good guy. Like, I know politically he has some different views, but yeah, he has a great bike rider, and yeah, we just chat about the race and whatnot.
If I was going into a breakaway, he would be one of the people that I guess I would be hoping is in there too. Is that fair? Like when you
Depends.
break, yeah,
Yeah, because that guy pushes some big numbers. Like,
yeah.
if you need to
Are
stay
you
away
guys?
from the peloton, then yeah, because then he'll pull pretty hard. But like, if you have to beat the guy, that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I guess I was going to ask you similar riders. He seems to be a bit more of a puncheur, whereas you definitely seem to be a climber. Is that a fair assessment of where Simmons is at the moment?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, because on the
Yeah.
stage where I was 5th, that was just a bit too much altitude meters for him, and then towards the end he faded. But like on the stage where I was 3rd, that was like his terrain.
Yeah, and he got you in the sprint on that one.
Yeah, I had no chance in that sprint. I
Yeah.
already knew it as well.
You're like me, no chance in a sprint, but the difference is you've got a chance on a climb, whereas I don't. So with you and Quinn, you both ended up without a stage win. But I think most people would say that we at least owe the viewing up to stage 9. The fact that the tour was fun, I think, was down to both of you guys. And I think a lot of people would say you deserved one. And I think if you were talking to someone who was casually watching the tour and you dropped in that Michael Storer won a stage win in the first week, I don't think they would correct you because I reckon it's believable. So do you think your approach, this one actually comes from an Instagram question that I put up and Gordon responded. His question was, do you think your approach to breakaways undermined your ability to clock a stage win? Did you try to go for too many and as a result you didn't get any? Or
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But that wasn't up to my decision. Like that was the team's decision. So yeah, I totally agree with that one.
But then that goes on to our. So initially, when we were having a chat, I was asking you how you're feeling, and you said that you feel like you are recovering a lot better these days than you were in the past. What's the process of recovery during the tours? We're getting a lot of people saying it's the rider's ability to back up day after day that is leading to some questions. You've said that your recovery has improved. Can you talk to that a little bit? Like, what's that look like?
How much should I give away? I don't
look
think
like, I guess,
I think it's more
when you finish
training. Like it's more towards being better prepared for the race rather than recovery in the race.
Yep.
Because recovery in the race, there's only so much you can do, which is literally 99% of that is sleep and nutrition. There's no magic cherry juice potion that's gonna fix your recovery. So
not even, but the Escape Collective had the scoop about the cherry juice. You're telling me that that's all BS?
Maybe it's 0.1% of your recovery, but like they're chasing everything. So that you'll take it because you take something that maybe helps. Obviously, something that's not banned, maybe it helps. No negative impact. It's a tour. You'll probably take it. Like that kind of argument, like no harmful, maybe possible benefit, and then that's cherry juice. Like it's not gonna. If I was an amateur, I wouldn't be buying cherry juice. Like it's not gonna.
I just
So you go cancel your order.
Damn it! I thought that was going to be the local crit. Hey, so I mean, I guess I was reading an autobiography about a '90s cyclist, and he was saying that one of the guys on his team used to go skateboarding after the stages, just sort of roll in on his longboard into town. None of that's happening. It's feet up. You guys don't do some touristy stuff afterwards?
Oh, like after the tour or during the tour?
After the stages, after the stages. After, is it just straight to bed?
Yeah, it's pretty regimented. Like just straight in the bus. Like they encourage us not to do interviews after the stage, so just go straight to the bath, have a shower, and then go. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, nice.
No stuffing around. Like you just get out of there.
What's the entertainment on the bus? Because some of those layovers are pretty steep. Do you watch everyone's favorite Disney movie? How do you get through those layovers?
So on the first long layover, we watched Wolf of Wall Street on the TV, and then on the second one, we watched Hangover, Hangover 1 and Hangover 2.
Living vicariously the life that you guys can't touch. Yeah. So this wasn't your first Tour de France, but honestly, it's the Tour de France where I first sat up and thought, holy shit, Michael Storer. So were you approaching this year with the intention of being more aggressive? Obviously, you've made the move on the teams. What was the plan for this race?
that was exactly the plan, like to go on the breakaways, try and win a stage. But yeah, as I said before, from the sports direction side, it went a bit too much about going in the breakaways, and they kind of lost sight of going for a stage. But like, bit of arguments before the race, after the race, and in the radio about the tactics. But like, in the end, I have to do what they say. But like, but yeah, that was definitely the goal, to like be in the race, be in the breakaways, target a stage.
Cool. And is there, speaking of that, is there a stage in this tour that you think you'll look back on fondly? And is there one that you feel like you've got some unfinished business on?
I look back fondly on stage 6 when I was third, just
Yep.
because there's another one of those days where like we didn't talk about me going in the breakaway in the team meeting. Like, we had some funny analogies, like that, like Michael's still in the fridge staying fresh. Like they'd say, just put Michael in the fridge until like stage 10. But then like
Yeah.
I saw how the race was like developing. I think it took like over 2 hours to go on the breakaway. Like I'd followed 0 attacks because I didn't want to go on the breakaway. I was just there to get to the finish. And then I just in the front, there's this like uphill drag, and I'm like, got no one in it. And then I think we covered like classic 100K in the first 2 hours or something. And then I was like, I may as well go in it, just because got no one there. And I just follow like Simon Yates into the breakaway, and then that's the move. But yeah, those days where you can just like, I done 2 hours of racing, and then you're the guy that just follows does one move and gets in the breakaway, you feel pretty badass. Like just seeing everyone else burn themselves, and then you're the one that like didn't even want to go, and then you just ride into it.
I can imagine. I have done the opposite so many times where I have tried over and over to get the break to happen, and then you see someone go and you think surely not, you let it go, and that's the one that goes. So I've been on the other side. I would have been cursing you. What's that look like? Is that a chat on the microphone quickly, like I reckon I'm going to go, or do you race on feel in regards to that?
That was not even microphone. That was just feel. Like I was already looking for it. In that moment, I was like, I did have in the back of the mind, like I was like, okay, if the race like really goes ridiculously hard here, then it pushes more into my like characteristics. So then that was like the only scenario where I would go on the breakaway. Like if it'd been ridiculously hard, everyone was just hooked, then I go in the breakaway. But yeah, it's just funny how that scenario like went into play.
Yeah. Have you got your DS in the ear, sort of, come on, Michael, you're supposed to be in the fridge. What are you doing? Or were they happy to let you go there?
Yeah, they're happy to let me go. They're also like, yeah, I guess the bit more, because my role was called free roll. So they didn't really have the DS in my ear. So I was just like, just making my own decisions really on what to do. So that was entirely my decision. And then anyway, it made sense because the next stage for me was quite a few days later, so it's not going to negatively like impact like future chances.
So that what's the vibe in the breakaway? You obviously got into a position where you realised this is the break. What's it like being in a breakaway where you realise you might actually have a chance there? We often see sort of breakaways falling apart because people aren't willing to work. But what was that like when you thought, I actually might have a shot here, and everyone else in the breakaway must have been feeling sort of the same way?
Yeah, it's like it brings like a little bit more pressure to it, I guess, like to the breakaway, but also a bit of relief that you know that you're actually playing for the stage and not just trying to stay away. Because a lot of the breakaways now are more about staying away rather than playing for a stage.
TV time, I guess.
No, also just because the peloton was just always chasing. Like, it's really rare that you get that classic breakaway where they just fully let it go. Actually, I don't think it even happens. Once. Yeah, the 1-2 stage there, they properly let it go in the end. But yeah, the 10-minute breakaways are finished.
That seems to often be dominated by one rider, or at least in this Tour de France, that seemed to be dominated by one rider, and that seemed to be Tadej Pogačar. What's it like being in a breakaway when you know you've got someone like Tadej sniffing at your heels? Is it frustration? Are you ever just like, oh, piss off, Tadej, can you just give us this one? Or is there just sort of this, I don't know, almost resignation?
Yeah, a bit of, yeah, it's like, well, time and error has been proved that you can beat him if you're on a super good day with a bit of a head start. But yeah, it's mostly resignation because then you're like, oh, like we're probably not going for the victory. And it was only him who could beat Tadej on the day. But yeah, it's a bit strange because like at least one day I had some info that Tadej decided not to win that stage. So I find it a bit weird if you get your team to ride full gas all day and then on the last climb you just decide not to win the stage. So, and then yeah, that was maybe the other times like he genuinely couldn't. But there's one stage where he was told by his teammates that they decided not to go for it with like 3K to go. But like still, if you don't want to win the stage, decide that beforehand, let the breakaway go and don't burn your whole team.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm too old school, but like, to me, that makes a lot more sense because then you could see that UAE was on their knees by the end of the race. Like, and also Tadej as well was tired. So it's not defensive racing if you ride full gas all day.
Yeah, and I think I remember the stage that you're talking about. It was sort of either 18 or 19, I think, where it was...
the one where they decided to not win, or...
Yeah, where was that the one where you just were playing silly buggers?
I think that was on the Tourmalet stage.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I remember talking about it and thinking the tactics were a bit bizarre because they did seem to be really going full gas. And I think part of that might even be, you know, Tadej sort of talked about some tour burnout. And honestly, from outside of the peloton, it was actually kind of nice to have a cyclist come out and just say a bit over it after 3 weeks of riding. What's the vibe at the end of the tour? You know, we always have this festival stage where everyone's drinking champagne coming down the Champs-Élysées. Obviously, that's not what we got today. But is it sort of a thank goodness this is over, or are there still some good vibes there?
Yeah, there's still a bit of good vibes, but it's kind of mixed. Like you're sad it's over, but you're happy it's over at the same time. Like 3 weeks of tour is enough, and then you recover a bit, and then you're like, I can't wait for the tour again next time. Like, yeah, I have to wait another year until the tour. But in the moment, like the last few days, you're happy that it's finishing. But yeah, like the stage like Tadej decided not to win. The info I got was apparently the French fans were booing him, and then team management decided that it's best that he doesn't win that day, just to keep the French fans on side. So I suspect that they took that into consideration as well in the last week, not to take everything.
How do you feel about that? Like, as a pro cyclist, I guess someone who is competing for every stage, how do you feel about the fact that these stages, I guess, how would it sit with you if you won a stage and you knew that you won the stage because Pogačar decided not to go? Do you think that he should not be going for every stage, or is that just the right of someone that is that dominant?
I think he probably shouldn't be going for every stage. I guess you can put the argument that when they do let the breakaway go fully, they're deciding, like, they are letting you win in the end. Like, actually, sometimes, like, the breakaway goes and they really can't get you back. So I guess you can, like, the victory still counts.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it's just weird when they, like, do kind of halfway where they're acting like they're going for the stage, and then they hit like halfway at the last climb. Oh, actually, maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah. And the EF sports director even said in one of the stages, as a reminder, I think it was to Ben Healy, just remember that this breakaway goes because they let you go, not because you push really hard. You've kind of grown up your cycling almost starts at the time of Tadej Pogačar. I think his first breakout race was 2019. You started 2017. Have you noticed those breakaways when he's in a race? Are those opportunities shrinking across the course of your career? Is that something that you have seen?
I'd say
Tadej, I guess, or do you think it's a symptom of modern cycling? If you go to, let's say, the Vuelta a España, and I think at the moment Poggy said he's not racing that, does that mean, oh, boys, the brake's on kind of thing?
I would say maybe we see a return of the 10-minute breakaways at the Vuelta, where, like, the breakaway goes and then they really sit up in the peloton, let it go, the race slows down. In the Tour, it was more about forcing the breakaway. So it wasn't there letting you go anymore. It was they have to let you go. So that made the racing extremely hard because the breakaways are getting forced. Like, it wasn't there letting you go at all.
Yeah, we kept seeing day after day on the coverage, they would constantly have the fastest Tour de France stage up there, and every stage was always within a couple of kilometres an hour of that. It must have just been, especially that first, you must have got to that first rest day and just been like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to reach the first rest day because it was also after 10 stages as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, because of Bastille Day, wasn't it? It was 10 instead of 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Trust the French. Hey, so how are you feeling after the tour now? What's it like after a Tour de France?
It's a bit of a strange feeling after the tour because you used to racing every day, having noise, attention, everything, and then you get home and it's just super quiet and it just feels really, really strange because you're used to the hustle and bustle of the tour, like, and then you have to get used to real life again, like the quietness.
Well, I've got two more questions for you, Michael, and then I'll let you go. The first one is, if there's one thing that you could change in modern cycling, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot there. I didn't have this on the rundown. What would you like to see change? One thing.
Oh, like safety wise or rules or
safety rules. Even just going back to widening narrowing the handlebars. It can be anything, but just
now it's sort of
like to see
5 things. I can give you 5. The handlebar rule is stupid. Wide handlebars is probably more dangerous. Like, just think about it. Like, if you stack handlebars across the road, if the handlebars are wider, there's more likely to have collision. Like, on the SRAM, there's a bit of like flares on the brakes, and you always like you hit other riders with that. It's like a little bit dangerous because the brakes just come out just a little bit. So that thing's stupid. Yeah, also the UCI like point system is a bit dumb, how it's on a 3-year cycle. Should be on a 1-year cycle. Yeah, because then new teams, like, you have to wait, like, we have a good chance of being World Tour, but we have to wait out the next 3-year cycle. If it was on a 1-year cycle, we'd be World Tour at the end of this season. Because I think we're 14th in the rankings. So yeah, that's also another silly thing.
fair.
Then they should do, like, at the tour, they have like road sweepers to clean the roads. And this I also realized because we go way quicker on the tour through the corners as well. And I was like, oh, if I did this in like the Giro or something, I'd crash. But yeah, I think it's the only race that does like that actually cleans the road like before the race comes through. And I think that's something they should do in more races.
They don't even have street sweepers before a race.
Yeah, usually not.
That's crazy.
Like, that's why we crashed going in a straight line in the Giro in Naples. Like, you shouldn't
because the road.
Oh, the road was filthy. Hadn't rained for a couple of days. Like, I knew we were all going to crash that day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here we go again. I was like, we're screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, right. All because of a dirty road. They just didn't clean it.
Yeah, because it's not normal to crash like going in a straight line,
Yeah, I remember the stage you're talking about, and just completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
It was one of the UAE guys just went down.
I think I know Tratnik went down first, but anyway, people are going down. Like even if Tratnik didn't go down, someone would have crashed.
Yeah, that's insane. I can't believe that they don't.
Yeah.
They clean the roads at our local grid. I mean, it's not with a street sweeper; it's with a broom. But
yeah.
Well, look, with your season, what's next for you? I mean, you've had a crazy season. Where does it go from here, mate?
So I should have about 7 race days left. There's like three 1-day races in Italy that are a bit smaller: Giro della Toscana, Perceli, and Pantani. And then I'll do Worlds if I'm selected, and then finish off in Giro dell'Emilia and Lombardia.
Race of the falling leaves, beautiful.
Pretty light for the end of the year, but that also makes sense because I got a lot of race days, and then it's better to be sort of a bit more fresh for the next season because the new 3-year point cycle restarts, and then we really got to score points. That's every team. So I think the next 3-year cycle is going to be very heated for UCI points.
Yeah, of course. And do you have any idea, any indication of what next season looks like for you? I'm assuming it's not starting in Adelaide with the Tour Down Under, unfortunately.
Yeah, TDU didn't want to, because our team wanted to do it. It's just TDU doesn't want to bring more teams.
Yeah.
So maybe Nationals in Perth. I do want to do Nationals in Perth sometime, just for participation, because how nationals it is, it's kind of hard to win it. So even just to participate would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, then probably Giro or Tour next year, or both.
Yep. Why not do it again? Do the double.
Yeah. Oh, it's not easy, but it's worth me going to the Tour, I think. Even 100% crap, it's still.
You won so many fans, at least in Australia. Yeah, absolutely. I thought you had a fantastic tour, mate. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, thanks.
And just the team in general, I think for a tour that is hard to get oxygen in, and it certainly is hard to get oxygen with some of those absolute behemoths in there. Yeah, I think, and for a team that, when you look at it on paper, no stage wins, 2 third places, you guys were in the mix. And I think you did a really good job as a team in general. So I'm actually really excited to see what you guys can pull out next year. And I'd love to see you at the tour again, especially I've got to do the commentating. It's always nice to see for the podcast, a couple of the Aussies mixing it up.
Yeah, for sure.
But look, mate, that's it. So what I generally like to do with ending these is just, if you were pulled aside by a junior rider, someone that is up and coming, what would be your one piece of advice to make that leap from juniors over to the pros?
So I gave this one quite a lot of thought. This was the one question where I wasn't sure exactly what to say. And then I was just thinking back to my own experience. So if you really want to make it pro, the years that count is like, yeah, they're always going earlier and earlier now. But in under 19s, you need to be good. Like, no one really cares what you do in under 15s, under 17s. Maybe second under 17s is useful. You need to be thereabouts. But where you really need to be good is under 19s, like if you want to make it pro. And another thing I was thinking about is like time management is super important. Like focus on school, like make sure you finish school. Like even better, like yeah, do school as well as you can. Like it's the only time you're going to get free education in your life. Unless they change university. But yeah, and then yeah, and to do that, like you need good time management. Like make your training really time efficient. Like make sure that you have a social life during school, because when you finish school, like people move away for uni, whatnot. Like you need to make the most of your school life, and then yes, it just sets you up for like a better future, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess especially you're about to jump over into a professional life where I'd say everything's quite regimented. So yeah, soak it up while you can.
Exactly.
Well, look, cheers, mate. I genuinely appreciate you making the time. This has been awesome, and yeah, thanks so much to you. Thanks for the team for letting you jump on, and
No,
best of luck with the rest of the season. Have some nice European food for me, and enjoy. Did you say 7 race days
yeah, 7 race
in the
days.
rest?
Yeah,
Must be tough.
I'm on holidays now.
Yeah, what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, cheers, buddy. And yeah, is there anything you wanted to close off with before we wrap up?
No, I think that's enough. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right.
Thanks for the chat.
Well, yeah. No, pleasure. Jump over to the domestics if you or the domestique if you want more articles and anything based on cycling. You can generally find there. They've finished doing the women's Tour de France, obviously, but you can definitely see some articles there about that experience. And yeah, cheers, Michael, and have a fantastic rest of the season. And yeah, that's a wrap from us.
Yeah, thanks.